Hey movie fans, here's the story of the greatest film in cinema history, and it was never made. To start, we have to go back to the movie Jaws in 1975, and Jaws is the greatest. It's got everything. It's got horror, action, suspense, drama, even a little bit of comedy. Now, Jaws is huge in 1975. It's considered the first blockbuster, it makes hundreds of millions of dollars, and puts young director Steven Spielberg on the map. So Universal decides to beat a dead shark and release Jaws 2 in 1978. Now, it pales in comparison to the original, but it's still the highest grossing sequel of all time until Rocky 2 beats it a year later. Now, they need to keep this great white cash cow alive, so they decide to make Jaws 3. But not this one. This comes years later. Now, it's the late 70s, and the producers are looking around to see what's hot, besides disco and coke. And what's hot in the 70s? Comedies. You have Mel Brooks movies. You got the Kentucky Fried Movie. Animal House was huge in 1978. So the producers were like, we got it. The next Jaws sequel is going to be, say it with me, a slapstick comedy. Thus comes the greatest movie never made, entitled Jaws 3: People Zero. This is the honest-to-God truth. It was a slapstick comedy about the making of a shark movie where members of the cast and crew get picked off one by one by great white sharks. And also, the great white sharks might be alien sharks. I'm completely on board for this movie. And Universal wasn't messing around. To produce the movie, they hired Maddie Simmons, who was the editor of National Lampoon magazine and just came off producing Animal House. They signed director Joe Dante, who would go on to direct Gremlins, Twilight Zone the movie, The Burbs, and tons of other films. Stephen Furst from Animal House and Bo Derek were cast to star in the movie. And the script was co-written by a young upstart by the name of John Hughes. So let's review. This is a sequel in the most successful film franchise of the time. It was written by John Hughes, directed by Joe Dante, produced by the guy from Animal House, and starring Bo Derek. What could possibly go wrong? Well, a few weeks into pre-production, after spending millions of dollars on it already, Universal pulled the plug on the movie. There are rumors that Steven Spielberg threatened to leave Universal Studios if they made the movie, but no official reason was ever given other than the fact that they thought it might make the original look bad. A few years later, producer Alan Landsberg bought the rights and made Jaws 3D in 1983, which is funny in its own special way. And then in 1987, Jaws the Revenge was released, but we don't talk about that.